Hi everybody, it's Delusion Dispeller. Welcome to this commentary. It's actually taken from the Mel Robbins show, and it's called Are Narcissists Born or Made? And I actually had this pop up on my computer, and I thought, oh, what a wonderful thing to actually do a commentary on. So we're going to kind of be listening in on the show with me breaking in, of course, in between, because that's how you do a commentary. And it should be a good discussion for whoever is interested in popping on in and joining me. So I'm going to get started right now.
Should I go surviving a relationship with a narcissist? She also has a new book coming out in October on the same topic. Dr. Ramani Durvarsala, are narcissists born or are they made? They're more made than born. One would argue there's a little bit of a difficult temperament they probably come into the world with, but they're mostly made. It's considered what we call an attachment disorder. It has a lot to do with early relationships with caregivers, and often it's a child who's both overindulged and underindulged. So they got whatever they wanted, like materially, yeah, but their emotional needs weren't met. So it's sort of like, you're getting straight A's, love ya. But as soon as that child wants to talk about a feeling, there was no parent anywhere to be found. So that combination of, it's not like the parents were off watch. Right. It was more that they weren't feeding those emotional needs.
So a narcissist is made in a family where the emotional needs are not met, even though maybe the material needs are met. As I've said before, and a few people have been hinting that I'm a narcissist again in my comments. I am histrionic. If I have any personality disorder, it's histrionic personality disorder, not narcissistic. Now, if it was narcissistic, I want to say I'd be willing to admit that, but a narcissist never admits that they're narcissistic, which does not make me one as well because, again, I've been tested. I don't have the traits of narcissism. Sorry if you want to put that label on me. I just don't fit the label. I'm histrionic. I love attention. I love the limelight. My dad's the same exact way. I love to help people too, though. So it's not all about me. It's all about me using my skills, my talents, my giftings to reach out and help other people be the best them they can be. So no, I'm not narcissistic. Let's establish that right off the bat.
It's definitely something that's made. We've talked about 3 of the signs, and is there a particular personality trait that makes you a narcissist or you're more prone to tendencies? There's a lot of them. That sense of entitlement, they blame other people, they cheat, they abuse other people.
Okay, I don't have a sense of entitlement other than I'm entitled to be treated with respect and dignity, not abused, not bashed, not mocked, not laughed at. So if that's a sense of entitlement, I am entitled to all those things, as is any other human being, really, unless they're like evil or something like that. Then people are going to talk about their evil deeds and say, oh, they're evil. But as far as I go, I literally come on here to try to help people, entertain people, give useful information, and share who I am and share my life with people. So, no, I don't deserve the treatment I sometimes get.
They manipulate other people, and it comes naturally. They're natural liars, and it's not even like they're liars in any other way but to protect themselves. Like they don't want the world to know really what they're about.
That reminds me of that book, Why Am I Afraid to Tell You Who I Am? There's a lot of people on social media that lie and embellish, if not out and out lie, and stretch the truth to avoid looking like the guilty one. I've seen that more times than not just on YouTube, everywhere. It's a very common trait of social media people. They will just try to make themselves seem a certain way that they're not. And yeah, it is. It's a self-protection thing.
And they're very grandiose. Tasha, your story is very much about that grandiosity. We're the star couple. Look at me. I'm so great. You know, that complete unwillingness to see another human being.
That's interesting, too, to me. The grandiose thinking or the grandiosity way about them. This doesn't just come in the form of being flamboyant and dressy and showy. It can also come in other forms, like trying to evoke pity out of people, trying to make people feel sorry for the person, trying to seem like the victim. All that kind of stuff is also forms of narcissism. Anything to get the attention onto themselves.
Completely unplugged into their feelings, so they definitely have their own. And is there a personality type that is susceptible? Yeah. And okay, tell us, please. Sweet, kind, good, loyal people who like to be pleasers, who like to fix things, rescuers. You know, they like, some people rescue puppies, some others rescue people, and they're definitely an easy mark for narcissists.
Okay, let me read your comment here. Would you'd say born, or you're wrong, as your mom has always been like this? What this lady is saying is that it's not born. They are created. Now, I think it goes both ways. I think there can be traits in someone that make them prone to narcissistic ways of looking at life and reacting to life. I've said this before and I'll say it again. My daughter, she was not raised to be narcissistic, at least not by me. But she showed signs of that from the time she was very, very little. So it's very controversial as to whether narcissists are born or made. People pleasers, yeah, and they're the ones that attract the narcissists like magnets. I know I'm a narc attractor too. Not because I'm a people pleaser, but I try to get along with everybody, and I try to always see good in people, and I try to believe that there's good in people no matter how rotten they treat me. And I am susceptible to that kind of behavior in people because I'm so forgiving. And it finally got to the point where my husband had to step in and say, you can't do this anymore. You're done. You're not doing this. And it was causing problems for us. So I've had to let go of several situations since I've been with him, because I tend to want to be almost like a savior of people. I want to help people, and I want to be their friend when nobody will be their friend, and I want to stand up for them when everybody's attacking them, and then I get attacked in the end, usually by the person I tried to help. So it's happened over and over and over again in my life. It's not something that was a one-time occurrence. So I get what you're saying. We're like magnets to them. And you got to be so careful and keep those boundaries, you know.
Many other people would say, I'm not doing this. But the fact is, we're socialized on the fairy tale, aren't we? Like, yes. I'm going to love the beast, and the beast is going to turn into a prince. That does not happen in real life. Did you see how emphatic she just got? Absolutely. I agree with you.
I like the way she said that. The beast does not turn into a prince. No matter how you love them, no matter how you forgive them, no matter how you try to help them, somebody that is prone like this to be that way is not likely to change. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad it popped up on my feed. That's why I decided to open up the room and do this. I got to go and pick up my husband in a little while from work, but because we got some stuff we got to do. But I wanted to do this first. It's like 42 minutes or something, and I chopped off quite a bit of it.
Next, we're revealing the calculated behavior narcissists do all the time and why you should worry about it. We'll be right back.
Calculated behavior next.
It's what does it feel like to be in your own life and feel like you just don't know what reality is. It's very lonely because what people see is not what's going on.
Really, Mimi? I appreciate you bringing me to that now. That's nice of you.
Do you want to be friends with her? See, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Wonderful. My cat just caught a mouse. She brought me the mouse to show me. Look, Mom, I caught a mouse.
Welcome back. I'm Mel Robbins. We're talking about narcissists and the 5 warning signs that you're dealing with one. Dr. Ramani is here to help, and we're going to talk to Tanya in just a moment. But first, Dr. Ramani, just how damaging can it be if you're living with a narcissist?
It's incredibly damaging. I want you to imagine that you have a house, and that house is sort of next to a place that's putting out toxic fumes. Odds are the next day or the next hour, you'd pack your stuff up and get out of there. And I would put this on that level, that you're living with someone where it's constantly destabilizing, you're constantly being criticized, you're never being noticed, and you're always second guessing yourself. It actually takes an incredible toll over time. After years of this, I've worked with clients who stayed in these relationships for 40 plus years, and they are a shell of themselves. They have no idea of their potential, of their beauty, of their strength, because hour after hour, day after day, year after year, they were told that they were nothing.
Nothing. That is my cousin. She was told that by a relative over and over, day after day, year after year, you're nothing. She spent 1 year living with my first husband and I. He was pretty much not there. It was mostly me. I was kind of like her spiritual mom. And I constantly had to tell her every day, you're beautiful. You're not worthless. You can do that. You will get the job. Believe in yourself. We believe in you constantly. And it was really hard because she had been told all her life that she was nothing, that she was worthless, she was useless, she was stupid, she was dumb, she couldn't do this, she couldn't do that. I think a really good rule that my mom taught me was if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything. I'm learning that. It's really hard. It's easier said than done sometimes. Oh, yeah. I know, Shimmer, but I'm guilty of that too, so I'm not going to throw any stones that direction. I'm very passive aggressive sometimes because I don't want to get into confrontations with people. And it really doesn't avoid them because people know, if you're announcing something and someone knows that it kind of describes themselves, they're going to be up in arms over it and lash back at you probably, There's really no avoiding that. So, and you can't lie. You can't say, well, it really wasn't you I was talking about, because if it is or not, So this is just honestly a general thing that popped up in my email, and I started watching it and I thought this would be great to do a commentary on because I definitely understand narcissism really well. I mean, that's what my channel's founded on. So I thought it was really interesting. Okay, so they were told they were nothing is what she was saying.
Or they were manipulated. That is no way to live.
Wow. I have a couple friends that have gotten out of relationships like this, and they keep saying, I felt like I was going nuts.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the universal feeling here. And it's that idea of feeling like you're going nuts when you're like, usually I'm good. Like, I'm at work, I could get things done, I've got friends, but in this one space.
Yes.
So then it starts to seep into everything, right? Like when you get sick, you get a cold, and before you know it, you got bronchitis and everything else is going wrong. It's this seed that gets planted, and then everything else in your life starts getting destroyed. The longer you stay, the greater the damage.
Well, and that brings us to the fourth warning sign, which is gaslighting.
Yeah,
and so can you explain what gaslighting is and where the term came from?
So gaslighting is when you doubt a person's reality. Okay, so you say things to them that make them question their own reality. It actually comes from a 1930s play and then a movie that got at this idea where there was this guy, he lived in a house with his wife, and there were gaslights in the old times. And he would keep turning the gaslights up and down, and she'd say, hey, did you change the level of the light? He'd say, I never changed the level of the light. And then over time, she goes completely mad. So they constantly shapeshift. They constantly move the goalposts. They make you doubt your reality. Gaslighting is emotional abuse.
Yep, that's very true. And people that lie about you also are gaslighting in a sense because they're trying to make you doubt your reality. Shimmer, I read your comment, and that's really good that you can do that and be direct. Maybe when people reject you, you don't take it as personally as I do or as other people do. A lot of people that want to avoid rejection do tend to be a bit passive aggressive. I'd rather just stay away from confrontation altogether and not say anything, passive or aggressive or confrontational. I just prefer to stay by myself and not deal with people as much as I possibly can, except when I choose to come on and share something or make myself a little vulnerable and talk about what's going on in my life. So We're not mentioning any names in here, Flossie. Shimmer, you don't have to answer that.
And Tanya, you say that you recently got out of a relationship where this was happening.
Yes.
Can you tell me about what was going on?
The gaslighting is like you are losing your mind. It's like you're going crazy. Situation, came home from one night and I smelled his shirt and was like, it doesn't smell like him, his cologne. It doesn't smell like soap. Is that perfume? When I questioned him, he denied it. But it was a constant, I was wrong, he was right. And that was always one of his sayings was, even when I'm wrong, I'm right.
Now, I understand it got so bad that you felt like you had to record conversations?
I was struggling with finding what was real, what was really going on. It's like, nobody's going to believe me. So I recorded the
I can see that
conversations.
this is still. So, the thing that really struck me was when you talked about how there are areas of your life, doctor, where you feel like you're in total control, and then you go back into the home, and you're like, what is happening? Is that how you felt?
Oh, yeah. It's very lonely.
And what's the effect, even though you're out of it, on your life right now?
Self-doubt.
Well, with your help, we've assembled 5 catchphrases that narcissists use when they're gaslighting. Yeah. And I'm going to read them, and we're going to put them up, and I want you to kind of let me know if this sounds familiar. I was just joking.
Oh, yes. Okay, pause right there. That has been a favorite phrase of every narcissist I've ever been with. Hey, G. Marie. My stepdad. My ex-husband used to say that. I understand, G. It's okay. My former mentor used to say that. Other people in my life who were narcissistic used to say, I was just joking. We're just playing around. It's all done in good fun. All of that stuff. And while they're hurting you, while they're lashing out and belittling you, mocking you, ridiculing you, tearing your reputation apart, making you doubt yourself. Oh, why are you so, upset? We're just playing. I'm just being, goofy like I am. You know how I am. No, that's cruel and wrong. If I'm laughing with you or the other person is laughing with you, that's one thing. But if you're doing stuff and you knowingly know you're hurting somebody, then you're in the wrong and you need to deal with it. That's just how it is. All right, so gaslighting we're talking about now. I was just joking.
You're imagining things.
You're imagining things. Mm-hmm.
You're upset over nothing. I never said that. You're so sensitive.
Always insecure.
Yeah. Picking. What's the difference, doctor, between being a narcissist and just being a toxic person?
There's a lot of overlap. I would say all narcissists are toxic. I mean, that goes without saying.
Well, Flossie, usually if somebody's just joking, everybody's laughing. That's the difference. If somebody's gonna, especially me, I've been in, groups, Bible studies and stuff like that, where we pick at each other, or even, in my family, we pick at each other. And if I'm laughing, then it's just we're just having a good time, we're joking. But if someone is lashing out at you, you'll know it. You just know. Especially if you're self-aware. Especially if what they're saying isn't true. And they're embellishing, or they're making stuff up, or they're slanting it in a way to make you look bad. That's not joking.
I think there are some people out there who are toxic because maybe they hold opinions you don't like, but when it comes down to brass tacks, they're there for you. They would never pull a gaslighting, on you. They would never be manipulative. So they're not dark in that way, but they're kind of jerks that could make someone toxic, but they're not, that at the core of it, they're not lacking those things that make a good person a good person.
Gotcha.
So, but by and large, when I hear toxic person, 99% of the time it really overlaps with narcissism. I've pretty rarely seen that sort of good-natured toxic person. So
Yes, it's true. I mean, you do a show like this, and you start researching it, and you go, oh my God, I'm a narcissist, or I'm with a narcissist.
Yeah.
So, if you have a tendency that's different than being somebody that's at the other end of the spectrum. Like if you have a tendency and you want to work on it, that's a sign that you're not a narcissist. I mean, I'm like sitting here, give me a lifeline, dear God.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. I get emails every day from people who say, I'm a narcissist. This isn't cool. I'll be honest with you. I don't care about other people. I just don't care. It's really, I do prefer putting me first, but I am not capable of getting into a healthy relationship. I can't, I mean, so something's not right here. And someday I want normal stuff. I want a partner. I want kids.
Right.
I've worked with those people clinically. I'll be honest with you. I mean, if this is healthy and this is where they start, I'll get them to here.
Whoa.
Still ain't here. I mean, there's really not a lot of motion here, you know, and at least in terms of relationships. Can I get them so they'll show up on time and send a thank you card? Sure, we can get them there. Is that enough? Is it enough for you that someone shows up on time but still gaslights? Is it enough for you that some... No.
Yes.
And so I think that that's what gets challenging, is that these folks will even say, this is really hard for me. It's like flexing a muscle you don't really have. And so it's a challenge for them too, because and they are deeply insecure. Remember, narcissists are deeply insecure people. It's a heck of a way to have to go through life. That's why they brag so much. When someone comes up to you and starts bragging about themselves, why would a person who's secure do that? If I know what I know, I don't need to tell you about it.
That's true. We do have one more thing we need to tell you, because when we come back, the number one sign a narcissist is wreaking havoc in your life, and it will shake you. But don't worry, I've got the tip to save your sanity. We'll be right.
Okay, I was reading what you wrote, Shim, and yeah, it would be awful to not feel compassion towards other people. However, not only would that be sad for you to look at the person and say, oh, poor person, they can't feel compassion. It's also very dangerous to the person that they're with, that they can't feel compassion towards, because what they're doing is objectifying the person. It is a talk show. It's called Mel Robbins' show. So I tend to lean towards the friend of the victims rather than the friend of the victimizer. And I don't know whether that's a popular stance to take. But I tend to view the victim as the one to come around and uplift and encourage. And I know you're trying to get a reaction out of me, Flossie. I don't know what your deal is, really. I do have compassion for others. You just haven't talked to the right people about it. The people that I have helped. And I'm sorry you've lacked the ability to get in touch with the right people that I've actually blessed their lives, let alone, or rather than what you're saying about me.
Up next. What do you do if it's family?
You got to stop being shocked. When your drunk aunt shows up to Thanksgiving 30 years drunk, why are you shocked on the 31st year when
That's
girlfriend
true.
shows up drunk?
And later. Do you need my help getting unstuck?
Well, I'm a Libra, so we're known to be very indecisive.
Why, I'm a Libra. I am not indecisive. Welcome back. Earlier in the show, I read you this quote. If they never ask how you are, it's called narcissism.
I like this because I had to look at myself. And when people say, hey, Dee Dee, how are you? I'll say, I'm fine. And I don't always remember to say, hey, how are you? I literally have to make not an attempt, but an effort to remember to do that. Not because I'm narcissistic. I literally just don't think about it. Because I have so much going on in my mind and I'm such a busy person. I just don't think like that. And like I said, I may be autistic. I don't know. Maybe that's why I don't say, how are you, back to them. I just don't think to do it. And they say that makes you narcissist. So who knows? I don't know. If I am a narcissist, I'm a narcissist. What can I tell you? I am who I am, and I do what I can to help people. Whether my motives are what everybody thinks they should be or not, I don't know. But I don't fit the description, according to the DSM, of being one. I think you might be right, citizen's arrest.
Now, we've been counting down the 5 warning signs you're dealing with a narcissist, and the last is the most important sign. A narcissist has a complete lack of empathy. So, Dr. Romani, can you describe empathy and why narcissists lack it?
So empathy is a capacity and a desire to understand the emotions of someone else, to take note of them and to respond to them. But it also requires a person to be self-reflective and be aware of how they impact other people. Okay? So not only do I care about your emotions, I'm aware how I'm impacting you because I can look inwards. So it's almost like a two-way street.
And why is not having that so dangerous?
I mean, think about what it is. I always give the analogy, it's like walking up to a mirror.
Okay.
And you look in it and you don't see your own reflection. So when I look at you, you're nodding, you're making eye contact every so often, you're smiling or frowning, you're hearing me.
Yes.
Our brains are actually wired for empathy. There's neurons in our brain that are a section of our brain that's really designed to have this back and forth. We need this as people. For whatever reason, this did not fully and well develop in people who are narcissistic or who have those kinds of traits. And so they don't do it. And it makes you inefficient. If I stop to worry about you, Mel, and I'm like, oh, is Mel okay? That's going to slow me down to go do something else. So you can get it. If you're competitive and go, 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 empathy starts feeling like a waste of time. We don't value it in our society.
Because of the lack of empathy, how do you deal with a narcissist? Because when you did that thing where you talked about, okay, if somebody comes into my office and they say they're a narcissist and they want to work on it, I can kind of get them here.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
And so if you're dealing with a narcissist, what do you do?
I say, if you know, once it's pretty clear you're dealing with a narcissist, don't personalize it. This is about them. This is them. This is their stuff. But the tendency is, well, if they're not showing me empathy, maybe something's wrong with me.
Well, especially if narcissists are attracted to people that are givers, that, like your
Rescuers,
tendency is to be like, oh my God, I'm a people pleaser, what's wrong with me? What if it's a family member? Because, you know, I think about the fact that, you know, I have a family member. I can spend 2 years, ask tons of questions about your life, your business, your kids, everything going on. Not one question back. And then, of course, being the person I am, I'm like, should I even be concerned about that? I mean, you know, does that make me a narcissist if I'm mad that they're not asking me a question? But you know, what do you do if it's family?
If it's family, I mean, it's very real because you feel like I can't divorce my mom. Kind of thing, right? Or I can't.
Mom, we're not talking about you.
Sorry. No, I'm lucky. I don't have a narcissistic mom, but or it's a sibling or something like that. You may even feel like I'm willing to divorce my sister, but I want to see mom, and mom wants all of us together, right? So it's a package deal. A lot of this comes down to setting really realistic expectations. Once your expectations are realistic, then you know, Mel, when you talk to that family member, that person's only going to talk about themselves.
Okay. I want to say one thing because I get what the doctor is saying on here about the person being self-absorbed and only talking about themselves. Hold on. I'm going to respond to your comments in a minute, y'all. But to me, and from what I understand from Sam Vaknin, who has been diagnosed by many doctors as narcissistic, a narcissist is someone not only that's self-absorbed, but absorbed with a false self. Not just themselves, but a false self that they've created. So they want to portray themselves to the world in a certain way when actually they are not that way. So it's a fakery. It's a mask they wear. And she hasn't really talked about that much, but yeah, it's true. She does on other videos, I think. All right. Okay, citizen's arrest thinks it's a social skill that I don't say, hey, how are you back to people. And that's probably true. And Flossie agrees. Okay, Flossie. They think they're winners in a game they're playing against everybody else. I envy them, if anything at all. I'm not sure why you'd envy a narcissist. Don't think that people are narcissistic can change. I think they can, but it depends on the level of narcissism and it depends on the treatment. Lee already caught the show. She said she doesn't think that makes someone a narc necessarily. Okay. that they don't say, how are you back? Soon the narcs and sociopaths are going to run the workshops on how to lose their empathy. That was funny, G, that you said that, but you never know. Shem asks, I'm curious how the person is doing. Are they okay? Yes, but you're an empath, Shimmer. You're a big time empath. Yeah, I'm very nurturing. Thank you. I am. I just don't think to ask. And I've been doing better with that, actually, because I really do care about people. And it's not that I don't care. And it's not that, see, I'm the type of person that if somebody says, hey, how are you? I want to tell them my whole life story and everything that I'm feeling. And then I want to know how they are next. But we have to be in like a communication, like sitting down at dinner to do that. Most people are so busy that it's just like, I don't know. The thought just doesn't occur to me. Curious, Dee Dee, will you be putting the link? Yes, I will put the link to this show in my description. Sometimes I forget to put links. Just remind me if I forget. I did not see the new lecture posted by Vaknin G. Yeah, they sleep well at night and leave us in agony. That's true. Hang on, I will be right back. I have a cat meowing to get in. Just a minute. Come on, Row. I hear you rowing out there. Row. That's Bobo. All right. Let's continue.
That's it. And so you're prepared for that. It's almost like watching a movie. Movie's not going to talk back at you. So bring some popcorn to the conversation and just listen to what they're saying. It's the them show, right?
Well, you know what actually helped me a lot in this is that I think when you don't have a word to describe it,
yeah, I agree.
that you take it personally.
Yeah.
Or you become really judgy.
Yes.
When you started to explain it, that this is formed in childhood because somebody didn't get what they needed emotionally, and so in their development, this got locked in.
Yeah.
It allows me to bring my superpower, which is empathy.
Yeah.
And I can look at the them show and go, okay, here we go. I got my popcorn, and I'm sad for them.
Yeah.
Because
okay, but here's the problem with that. When you think about a narcissist and the fact that the narcissism came from childhood, maybe an abusive or neglectful parent, or they were the star child of the family, the golden child, yes, it evokes empathy. But it also, if you evoke empathy in somebody and they befriend this person and this person is narcissistic, they're going to get burned. I hope she covers this next.
they don't even know that. Some of them, let's face it, are like the word I want to say they would bleep out. Dangerous and destructive, but there are probably some that have no clue.
They have no clue. And several people were talking earlier on the panel. They were talking about, I was surprised. I was shocked. You got to remember, being surprised, being shocked, it takes energy. You got to stop being shocked.
Yeah.
You got, like when your drunk aunt shows up to Thanksgiving, 30 years drunk, why are you shocked on the 31st year when girlfriend shows up drunk?
That's
like,
true.
It's the same
That's
thing.
absolutely true. And it sounds like the only advice is once you identify, you leave if it's a relationship. And if it's a family member, you get the popcorn out, you feel a little empathy, and you're not surprised.
Yeah, but you can't be surprised. You got to keep it real. You got to engage in radical acceptance. This is the situation. And this could even be a person who's married in this circumstance. They can't leave for any number of reasons.
Right.
I know many people who stay married long term
23 years
with narcissists, but they try to figure the workarounds
I can't even
and
imagine.
maintain those expectations.
Get out, girl.
Yeah, so they don't.
Poor guy. That's what I'm saying. All right, Dr. Alani, thank you for being here and shedding light on this topic. You have to come back when your new book comes out. America Needs Your Work. When we come back, I have a wake-up call for this audience, and it starts with one of my favorite household items, a sticky note.
Okay. I think that's the end of that about narcissism. But I think that was a really good program. And yes, I will post the link for sure. I was that person that stayed in the narcissistic relationship for 23 years. And what's funny to me, and kind of not like haha funny, but ironic to me, is that when my ex-husband comes here and helps me out, everybody's like, how can you talk so mean about him? Look how helpful he is. How could she ever call him a narcissist? That's the point. Those of us that have been married to or hooked up to narcissists, nobody believed us. Because on the outside, they're so charming and so helpful and such good citizens. Nobody would ever believe that they were narcissistic behind closed doors. But you didn't live my life. You have no idea what I went through in my marriage and in my life during that time. So you can sit and point the finger and go, oh my gosh, how can she say this stuff? But it's the truth. That's how I can say that stuff. And he does use it to go back and brag to the family about what a wonderful person he is. Yeah, G. Marie says, I don't feel bad for them. They could care less for us. I think narcissism is part of heredity as well, not just childhood stuff. Yeah, I think so too, Lee. I think it can be. That's the nature versus nurture thing that everybody argues, you know. My mom and worries about everyone's opinion of her. Hold on, my thing here. Your mom worries about everyone's opinion of her, how to make her look, and it's hard to cut a parent out of your life as they turn everyone against you. Yes, they do. How do we know if we are ourselves? There are narcissistic traits, which I've actually done videos on. If you have 5 of the 9 traits, there's a possibility you could have narcissistic tendencies. You have to get tested by an actual therapist, though. Got into a lot of life-threatening situations as a child. Your narc mom neglected to watch over you. Yeah. Intention behind your actions. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, too. What's your intention? What's your heart intention of doing things? Why do you do the things that you do? Why do you treat people the way you treat them? That type of thing, you know. And the thing is, she was saying, you know, get out, leave, you know, get out of there. Easier said than done, whether it's a marriage, a friendship, a mentorship, a church. It's not that easy to just say, oh, I'll leave. I'm done. I'm out of here. You know why it's not? I mean, you can physically leave, but they will hover. They will hover like a hovercraft. They will talk about you. They will smear you. They will badmouth you to your friends. They will be just as kind and sweet as they were in the beginning. They will be just as vicious in the end. And it doesn't end. It keeps on going. And that's what my husband has said about several relationships that I've been in life since we've been together. Honey, you can't change this person. You can't make the relationship better. You can't fix this. And you can't stop them from doing this. So just ignore it. Let it go. Don't react. Move on. Do what you need to do. And let them do what they're going to do, because they're going to do it anyway. And I've already made that video about you're going to do it anyway. So why would I get bent out of shape over it? I can't stop you. And no matter what you do to me, you're going to keep doing it. Because it makes you, I guess, feel better or more superior or whatever. You know, it makes the person feel like they have control or something. I don't know. Whatever. And I sat there and thought about that today. I thought about the many people in my life that turned out to be very toxic. I won't say narcissistic per se, because I don't know for sure, but toxic people. Have they really changed my life any? No, they haven't. Because every day I get up and have for years, every time I was abused by these people, I woke up the same way. Got my breakfast, did my job, whatever my job was at the time, had my friends in real life at times, hung out with my children, my family, went and walked in my yard. I lived my life. They didn't change one iota of who I am or what I stand for or how my life goes. So whatever anybody says about me, it doesn't form my life. It doesn't affect me one iota at all. Except, yeah, it'll irritate me. And I think that's usually what people that are toxic want to do, is try to just get under your skin and make you react and make you lash out back so they can point and go, see, look at her. Oh my gosh, look at how she's acting. She's doing all this terrible stuff against me. Now you see why I don't want anything to do with her? And then they flip the whole thing to make you look like the bad guy. I know this all too well. So my point is, don't react. There's no point in it. It doesn't do you any good. It makes you look like the crazy one. That's how it was in my marriage. That's what he would do. He would do things and say things to irritate the tar out of me. And then I would get so mad, I'd throw something across the room. Not at him, just because I was so angry. And was not in good control of my emotions back then at all. And then he would turn and say, look, kids, look at her. Look at how she's acting. And you wonder why she's in therapy and I'm not? Look at her. I never act like that. No, he never acted like that because he didn't have to, because I would kowtow to everything he said to do. I was of the biblical mindset that you submit unto your husband. You don't ever question anything. You just do what you're told. They're addicted to their lies and their whole life is built off lies. Yep, exactly. Lies, embellishments, mockery, slander, reviling, like my other video said. Exactly. These two videos popped up on my feed today. I was actually researching foods. And all of a sudden these videos came up and I'm like, okay. I'm going to watch this with my friends and we're going to talk about it. We're going to have a nice little chat session. Why not? It's a nice Saturday afternoon. It's the Sabbath. I'm not working today. I may as well sit and talk a bit. And so I am. Anyway, I got my kitty cat on today. That's from my friend online. Not the one that shows herself in YouTube, but she's my other friend online. Yeah, you'll be destroyed if you try to get close enough, especially if you start seeing through their stuff and calling them on it. I know that from my mentor. When I went to her house after like months and months of getting to know her online, and I finally met her and I watched how everybody cowered in her presence. And I said to her, you know, I'm watching what's going on here. It's like you're the queen or the god of the household and everybody just does your bidding. Doesn't that like seem a little strange to you? What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. Well, your mother comes over and everybody, all eyes turn on her. You know, all eyes turn to her. Everybody stops doing what they're doing. And you expect the same thing towards you. If you feel upset, your husband has to run to the store and go buy you something, or take you out for Krispy Kreme donuts, or kowtow to you in some way and kiss your feet, you know. And I told her that, and she got really mad. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see it. Okay, you don't see it, but I do. And I'm the outsider looking in. And I see the dysfunction in this family situation that's really unhealthy. You're like some kind of a goddess, and it's not good. You can like whoever you want, Heidi. And no, I won't stop. It's not a subliminal video. It's a video about narcissism. And I'm talking about a former mentor. So I don't know what you're going on about. I'm talking about a former mentor, and it's nobody on here. In fact, I don't even think she does YouTubes. She's remarried and has her own life and lives in another state. So I'm not really sure what you're launching into my room saying that about. And if anything I say fits anybody else, that's not my problem. And I will not do what you suggested because I've been forbidden to, for my own sanity and health. If it's who I'm thinking you're talking about, I won't do it. Under the advice of several therapists and my husband. Not going to happen. Anyways, so yeah, I told this friend, not friend, my mentor. It wasn't even a friend. It was, well, she was my friend. She was my best friend actually at the time, till all this stuff came to light and I began seeing how she actually acted in person towards her family. And, okay, I know this is being done to make me react, but I'm not reacting. I'm going to continue talking about what I'm talking about. And this mentor got very upset with me, and She was already planning on replacing me anyways. I already knew that. So I didn't really care. I didn't have anything to lose at that point. I was going to confront her, rebuke her, because that's what the Bible says to do, rebuke a brother in sin. She claimed to be a Christian. She was mistreating people, abusing people, and using people. And I called her on it. And thankfully, she did finally see that what she was doing was wrong. Years later, she became a domestic abuse counselor, which I was super proud of her for. And from there, she got remarried and lived happily ever after, I suppose. Hi, Wonderfell's life. Been there, done that. You don't go behind a bulldog's camp with a bunch of rabid bulldogs and think you're going to be okay. That's ridiculous. Oh, who just said hi, Dee Dee? Hi, Morgan. Flossie, I know you're just trying to get blocked or hidden, and I'm just not going to. You know what? It takes too much effort to be bothered with all that. I'm glad they had their little playtime today. Hopefully that got it out of somebody's system, I guess. Hi, Bobo. Like I said, not godly behavior. Not in the least. It's nobody's fault I don't listen. It's my choice not to listen. There's no fault in that. Quit trying to shame me. I don't receive shame. People don't have to listen to you, Flossie. I don't know where you get off thinking they do. Just because you say something, they have to do things your way. Who are you? Nobody to me. You have not earned any rapport with me. I will sooner listen to citizen's arrest than I'll listen to you, Flossie. I got news for you. You can't even do the decency of telling me who the heck you are, for one thing. I don't trust people who don't reveal their identity. That's sneaky and deceitful. I don't go for deceit. You too, Autumn. I'm gonna have to go and get my hubby pretty soon. Trying to get some stuff put away here, clean up my kitchen. Yeah, that's sad about your aunts, Robbie. You want to go out, Bobo? Sandra's so cute. I saw your Christmas video with her. Made me smile. Chomping on that wood. Aw, they do? Only live a few months? Well, I know insects don't have very long lifespans, most of them. About to make a mess here if I don't watch what I'm doing. Matthew bought some apples. Yum. Those will be good in the oatmeal tomorrow. Ouch. Yes, we do spoil our pets. Definitely. That's true, Robbie. Ooh, ouch. We don't have those kind of ants around here that can, like, kill you if they bite you. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good thing to me either. I've seen those videos where people get bitten by ants and they break out all over and stuff. Your chicken work out in the dark? Chicken work? Hey, Hillary. I'm not leaving quite yet, but thank you. No, maybe I am leaving quite yet. It's almost 4 o'clock. I need to head out. I can take y'all with me. Because he might not get out right away anyways. He may be... Sorry, y'all. Yeah, I think she probably got it now, Shem. I'm trying to... And I keep forgetting every time I go to talk to him in text, it buffers and knocks me off of here, so... Where are you going, Meech Me? Where are you going, baby? Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Like I said, I was just trying to get in touch with my husband, let him know I'm on my way to get him. And it was buffering because of that. Oh, man. Let's see if I can, trying to figure out how I can prop this up. I don't have a fancy phone holder like One Love has. Hold on. Whoops. Didn't shut. There we go. There we go. Get my seatbelt on. I want to live till the next online attack comes my way. I know. I gotta get one, you're right. I do. That and 50 zillion other things I gotta get. Alright, let's back her on out of here. Come on, don't get stuck in the mud. Oh, there's lots of water over there. Holy mackerel. Really stinks living in a place that floods so much. You know that? It really does. I don't know why my windshield wipers are on. I really don't need them. Sorry, it's going to be a bumpy ride for a minute. Oh, jeez. Sorry. To turn my data on. I was going by my Wi-Fi. I had to turn the data on. Or else you weren't going to see me again. So, I'm going to open this up. Ouch. I'm cutting myself on the inside of this darn mailbox. I can understand, Chim, why you're nervous about it. Maybe have your sister kind of help you, if you're still with your sister. Are you okay to take a bath? I mean, will they let you take a bath? The doctors? Take everything slow, you know. These are all Matthew's mail. Alrighty then. Nothing for me. Okay. No news is good news. Alright, have a safe trip, Morgan. Oh, that's a great idea, Hill. Hillary will take good care of you. She's into all that nursing type stuff. She'll help you figure it all out. Here, I'm going to pull a One Love here. I'm going to let you see the road. Just not the streets. I don't want people knowing where I live. I'm sure they do already anyways. Okay. No, I don't want to stop streaming. Why'd you ask me that? It's got a weird message. Fallon Jones. Hi, Fallon Jones. I like that name, Fallon. You don't hear that name very often anymore. There was a high school named Jimmy Fallon High School years ago. And I've heard of girls being named Fallon. And I have a cousin named Feline. Look at their deflated balloon over there. It's their Christmas balloon. Santa Claus. Alright, let's go down this street now. Usually I don't film riding in the car videos, but why not? Just in case he's a little bit late getting out. Yeah, definitely sue me. That's what I was saying. Make sure if it's okay with the doctor. Exactly. Okay. No, I don't want to cancel. See, this is how close Big Lots is to my house. There's Big Lots. Not far at all. Walking, riding distance. Do not turn in front of me, car. I am a big truck. I will probably hurt you not meaning to. Thank you, Wonderfell's Life. I appreciate that. Alright, here we go, across the street. Okay, I'm gonna flip this back over onto me now. Maybe. There we go. Okay, let's see if there's even parking spaces for me today. Oh, somebody's pulling out. I could take that one, or I could take this one. Hold on. I think I will take this one. Alright. Okay, and when Matthew gets in the car, I will probably have to get off of here, knowing him, because he's pretty private like that. Wish I was more private. Oh well, live and learn. I am living. Alright, we're here. Just waiting for him to get out now. Yeah, be safe, Shimmer. Hope everything goes well for you. Be careful. If you can't manage it today, you know there's other days. Don't worry about it. Don't try to force things before, you know, you're ready. Wow, this is the longest live I've done in a while. I haven't done these 2 and 3 hour lives in quite a while. Looks like my hubby might be almost ready to leave. Yes, thank you. I have a plan. That's why I'm taking your email addresses. All right, I need to go. He's getting out of work and he's going to want to take some time with me, and I want to give him that time. So love y'all, and we'll see you later.